in the Boston Garden on Sunday.
Okay, this crowd just as loud as they were the other night.
Gerald Wilkins has the ball. We're underway. Rip Barry, Skip Carey with you. We sincerely hope you'll enjoy it. First of a doubleheader on TBS tonight. Newman starts. Here comes Dennis Johnson. 2-0 New York. It took the teams about 3 minutes to score on Wednesday night. First possession got a hoop tonight. Ewing the rebound. Sidney Green. Nope. He's had a tough time of it in this series. Dennis Johnson.
That's not his range for shooting. He's an inside player. That's a little bit too far out for Sid.
Dennis Johnson pulls up, wheels, and misses. McHale. That ties it at 2.
Well, obviously, Dennis Johnson, he told me before the game, Rick, I'm going to look to do it all tonight. Last game, he didn't look to do anything offensively till late in the second period, so a different Dennis Johnson you'll be watching tonight.
We've played 1 minute and 45 seconds. Ewing and Parrish bang at one another. Jackson for 3. Didn't get any, and Dennis Johnson the rebound.
Jackson having a horrible shooting series, shooting in the low 30 percentile area.
Danny Ainge, that was blocked. Ainge and Ewing are in the seats, and Parrish gets a layup.
Well, what happens when you get Ewing going out to help that far away from the basket, even though he made a great block, that left his man, Robert Parrish, wide open. Nobody picked him up, and the Celtics find the open man as well as anyone.
And find themselves with a 4-2 lead. Gerald Wilkins directs traffic. Johnny Newman. Parrish the rebound. Shot selection by New York is questionable at best. Foul, Wilkins.
In a different state of mind is Dennis Johnson tonight from the offensive end of the court. 2 times he's had the ball, 2 times he's made aggressive moves to the basket.
Inbounds quickly to Parrish. He broke away from Ewing and laid it in. Parrish has 4. He's averaging only 12 a game in this brief series.
You see Wilkins bringing it up, Skip. When they're not getting in the break opportunities, they want to have Wilkins bring it up to save Jackson.
Dennis Johnson picked his pocket clean as a whistle. He's got Bird on the wing and on the fly.
Patino going to take a 20-second timeout right here to try and get his troops back together.
Well, Boston came to play early, didn't they, Rick Bear?
Well, I really felt that the Celtics were influenced by the extreme pressure put on by the Knicks in the last ball game. I mean, they were really a very hectic group out there, running all over the place with great hustle, great determination. But tonight, I think that the Celtics are really ready to handle it. Here you see inside Dennis Johnson making that aggressive move to the basket, even though he missed it, tipped away. McHale right there for the offensive rebound to knock it in. And all 4 of the Boston Hoops have come inside, Skip. And in the last ball game, the Knicks had 60-38 advantage in points scored on the inside part of the game. So right away, Boston establishing their dominance there.
And Newman will inbound on the wing with 9:23 left in the quarter. Ewing fumbles it away. Danny Ainge comes out of there with the ball. Parrish took an extra step, got away with it. 10-2 the score, 9:09 left in the quarter.
This is a much different Celtic basketball team that we're seeing tonight than the one we saw 2 nights ago, who let that pressure bother them.
On Parrish, holding Ewing.
Foul by Robert Parrish, his first personal foul.
First on Parrish.
And his Celtics' first team foul.
It's 10-2 Boston early. Ewing goes to work the whistle. It's not going to count. A foul prior to the shot. Basket disallowed.
Second foul on Parrish. We'll watch the play again as it goes inside. Patrick, a good position. McHale comes in to help out. The quick move with the body. Parrish bumps him. But I like the way Patrick made the move, not wasting time. Back to live action. Newman now 0 for 10 from three-point range. Good save by Ewing.
Great hustle by Ewing. Newman missed a tip. Ewing blocked by Parrish. What a play. Bird has the field beat. Look at that. It's 12-2. The Celtics going for an early knockout.
Skip, I'm not sure that Parrish's hand didn't go through the basket on that block. Good shot by Wilkins.
One they desperately needed. It's a 12-4 game. It had been a run of 12 straight for Boston till that Wilkins shot. The Garden crowd screams defense. But they don't get any, and Parrish gets an 8-footer.
Well, they got a paratrooper club member, and when you go up in the air against a good basketball player, he's going to burn you the majority of the time.
Parrish averaging 12 in the series, had 8 in the first 5 minutes here. Another failure for a jump shot.
Not the person they want shooting that shot.
The Celtics are 8 of 11 from the field. 16-4. And Rick Pitino wants a timeout, and that is perfectly understandable. The Celtics have come out smoking, and they lead it by 12. We'll be back.
Here on the shot by Patrick Ewing by Parrish. Watch his handle go up in the cylinder. He's actually in the net, inside the rim, and makes the block. It should have been a goaltending call. Patrick's complaining. The Celtics, meanwhile, take it down the other end. Larry Bird with a great play to get by Wilkins, reverse right-handed layup. Here's another look from the low angle, and you'll watch Parrish. He goes up, and his hand goes into the cylinder. He'll touch the net. Here he goes on the next rebound. Patrick goes up. Parrish goes up, his hand goes inside the actual rim, into the net, makes the block that should have been goaltending. It cost the Knicks 4 points. 2 that Patrick should have gotten, and 2 that the Celtics got.
Very interesting sequence, and a very sad turn of events so far for the Knicks, because the crowd has been pretty well silenced here by the fury of the Boston attack. It has been awesome to behold.
Well, I think they came out with the idea in mind that they wanted to get the crowd out of the game as quickly as possible, and they certainly have managed to do that, although the crowd hasn't given up yet. There's still a lot of time left, but Celtics are playing clinic-type basketball right now.
Their big men have all the points, 8 for Parrish, 4 each for McHale and Bird. Wilkins and Newman, 2 each for New York, and that's all she wrote. Great Boston defense so far. Ewing, nice shot. But I think Boston is content to let them pop from around the foul line. Here comes that pressure. Parrish dribbles it out of bounds.
Well, this is what they want. Pitino wants to have Parrish and McHale have to come back and handle the ball. They're going to double on Johnson. They're going to double on Bird, try and get it in the big fella's hands.
Wilkins, no. Perhaps an ill-advised shot. Bad news from Atlanta for the Braves. Bird. Sidney Green, the rebound. 16-6 the score. Green.
That time he was about 15 feet from the basket, and that's his range, 15 and in.
McHale backs in against Ewing. Good fake. Missed the shot. Ewing the rebound. Threw it away. Intended for Wilkins.
I'd rather see him throw the ball to Mark Jackson. I think Jackson's the man to have to handle on the break. Wilkins a little too wild on the break with the ball. Unless he's wide open down the court, throw it to the other man.
20-second timeout is called by Boston. I think they've seen something in the New York press that they want to get adjusted themselves here, and it comes with 6:26 left in the quarter.
Well, I'm sure one of the things Casey will be saying, say, Robert, I don't want you bringing the ball up the court on the dribble. If you catch it, turn and throw it to somebody else.
If at all possible.
You can see the difference here when Larry Bird is on. The Celtics are a much different basketball team. Only 36% shooting for Larry Bird, way below his normal average. And Larry did say before the ball game, he said, I think I looked to pass a little bit too much, Rick. He said, I've got a guy 6'3", 6'4" guarding me. I got to look for the shot first and then the pass, whereas he was looking for the pass first. Inside game, Skip, is 14-0 in favor of Boston. Remember last game, it was New York 60, Boston 38.
Dennis Johnson beat Newman and Green and gets it back from McHale, who sets a pick. Green fights through the pick. They got the mismatch low. McHale screams for the ball, can't get it. Dennis Johnson takes care of it from foul line. His first quarter. 18-8 is our score. 6 minutes left, first quarter. Rick Barry, Skip Carey with you from Madison Square Garden. They're Darren Green. He's the one the Celtics apparently want to shoot the ball. Not this guy in there.
Again, Patrick making the good quick move before the double team can come over and affect him. That's what he needs to do.
And Parrish this time does unload the ball. Gets it back, unloads it again. Score it and a foul.
Well, one thing the Celtics will do, being the fine passing team they are, when they break the press down, they attack the press. They don't hold the ball out and let the Knicks get back and regroup.
New York second team foul.
First foul on Ewing, second team foul.
And Robert Parrish playing point guard again. McHale just comes in as Patrick Ewing goes up to try to make the block, and the foul with the body.
McHale has 7, Parrish has 8. Portland and Utah next. Utah leads that series 2-1. Wilkins. Parrish. Everything going Boston's way in the early going. They have dominated. Dennis Johnson, the unmolested layup.
Well, again, Dennis Johnson said, I'm going for it offensively tonight. I'm not going to lay back like I did in game number 3.
Pat Cummings and Trent Tucker about to get in. Length of the floor, Perry. He could have driven, chose not to do so. Jackson, Dennis Johnson checks in, but he gets it under anyway. 23-12, our score. Bird is checked backcourt by Jackson. Tries to go behind the back and fumbles. Gerald Wilkins knocks it away. Steals the ball, leads a break, takes it himself.
Well, here's the chaos that Rick Pitino wanted right now.
Great pass. That'll be on McHale.
And that time Patrick made a smart move. He didn't go for the block and maintain his position, which he had on the last play, but he went for the block the last time and had the foul. This time he draws the offensive foul. Pat Cummings going to come in. They figure if they're going to give Sid Green the shot, they want somebody who can shoot it, and Pat Cummings can shoot that shot.
Very good observation. Another outside bomber. Trent Tucker is in there as well. 4:22 left in the quarter. It's been all Boston. Johnny Newman second us. And it's only a 7-point game, as to their credit, the Knicks come battling back.
Skip, one thing about this Knicks team, all season long, seen them play, they do not quit. They don't have the word in their vocabulary. I think that's because their coach doesn't allow it.
They might have won or two when things were going bad early this year, but now they know they've come so far. Robert Perry. Knocked loose by Cummings. He was on the line. Good effort.
The crowd has really gotten the defense up a notch from what they were. They were down because the Celtics jumped at them quick, but now they're back in it. The crowd's got them going.
Dennis Johnson. Big melee. It's on the deck. Out of that mess. Parrish and a foul.
Ooh, they call it on Patrick Ewing. That really hurts. So they're calling on Cummings. I thought they had called it on Patrick Ewing. That would have been a very bad break for New York.
So Parrish goes to the foul line. Jimmy Rogers talks with Danny Ainge at the Boston bench. Mark Akers limbering up his legs, getting ready to come in. Though he's not yet taken off the warm-up. The Chiefs. Time call now, and the Knicks ball boy gets a wet spot off the floor, wins the good housekeeping seal.
I tell you, the Garden reminds you of Boston Garden, the way the crowd's into it. Haven't heard this type of noise in Madison Square Garden for a number of years, 4 years.
This is a beautiful building, but I sure miss the old place where you hung right down over the action. Harris, 1 out of 2. And Jimmy Walker's bar was right across the street, but that's a long time ago.
That's true.
Ewing. Rick Pitino on his feet with play instruction.
Good hands with Larry Bird, who does such a fine job playing team basketball, dropping off his man to help out inside.
Newman, the trigger man, into Ewing, 12 on the shot clock.
Trent Tucker also said that he's going to be looked to be more offensive-minded tonight.
Ewing's hook won't go. Rebound McHale with those huge arms ahead. Bad pass by Bird. Here comes Mark Jackson. And a whistle and a foul on Ames. His first 13.
Well, as you say, they're letting them play tonight, Skip. 3 team fouls on both teams. Both teams playing very aggressively. Played almost 9 minutes in this ball game. That's a low number of fouls with the intensity level here.
Newman triggers it into Trent Tucker. 24-16 Celtics. That's our score. Newman goes by Bird, but has a knock free. McHale to Bird. To Dennis Johnson. Trent Tucker tries to steal it. He beats him. Tucker fouled him prior to the shot. Boston's going to take a timeout here. New York has scratched back into the game a little bit, but their shot selection is still a little weak. They're down by 8, 2:54 left.
Well, the Celtics off to a flying start. It looked like they were going to blow this game wide open, but the Knicks have battled back to at least stay within touch of them, somewhat so, trailing by 8 with 2:54 to go. And Casey Jones, of course, announced his retirement. Rick Pitino had something to say to his team along those same lines. Told his players that I promised the guys that if they could win games 3 and 4 at least, I'd retire too. And I don't know, I guess if they lose the game tonight, the guys can always say, well, coach, we didn't want you to retire early.
Aren't you ashamed? Larry Bird will inbound. Kevin McHale with it. 24-16 the score. Bird.
Larry Bird.
Now, how
Celtic big man are cooking.
How can you let Larry Bird dribble from the deep corner all the way across the lane and not have anybody else attack him defensively? That's a breakdown with the team defense.
It's not like you don't know he can do it. Cummings against McHale. Tucker for 3. Nope. See who it's on.
It'll be on
Mark
Akers.
Akers on the deck. And I think he gets the foul, too.
Two-foul foul in charge against Mark Akers. That's his first personal foul.
He picks one up with great rapidity whenever he checks in, doesn't he?
Well, that's what happens to the young players when they're in the league. The rookies don't get much of a break as Bill Cartwright and now for Patrick Ewing. Bill did a nice job when he came in for the first time in game number 3. Akers battling at it.
Cartwright goes to work. Drew the foul as he missed.
Followed by Mark Akers. His second personal foul.
Akers has picked up 2 in a hurry.
Celtics are over the limit.
Well, the Celtics over the limit here in the first quarter. If you remember in the game the other night, they had not gotten into the penalty until the 4th quarter of that ball game. Every quarter they had not reached that penalty status. So Boston playing a little more aggressively, perhaps defensively, or maybe not getting the calls that much. But the Celtics had a problem in the 4th quarter because the Knicks got to the free throw line quite a bit.
That's the voice of Rick Barry with Skip Carrier from Madison Square Garden in New York. First quarter of the NBA playoff game between the Celtics and Knicks. It is 26-18 Boston.
2 minutes.
Paxson heads up the floor against Trent Tucker. Whoops. Bad pass by Paxson.
That's what you call your buddy pass. Throw it to your teammates' ankles.
Newman against Bird. Cartwright against Akers. There's a third foul there at any second they want to call it. Tucker for three. Yes.
Well, all the players living up to their word. The guys that said they were going to look to be more offensive-minded are doing just that. Both Tucker and Johnson in the backcourt looking to do things that they weren't looking to do in game number 3 early.
Paxson against Mark Jackson. Offensive foul. Paxson. Those kind of fouls make me laugh. Down low, guys are getting mugged, and then there's a little bump out in public, and a foul is called. See if the Knicks can capitalize. 1:15 left. Cartwright fumbles it away. Larry Bird out of there with it. So they exchange turnovers, and Dennis Johnson up the floor. And away from the ball, a whistle, McHale and Cummings. And now Paxson and Cartwright have it. No blows have been struck.
Emotions certainly running very high. Jim Paxson not exactly known for his pugilistic expertise.
McHale's going to wind up at the foul line out of all this.
Now watching the bottom right portion of your screen over here, as you see players coming back down the court, you're going to see them come into the picture. There's Cummings and McHale bumping. You saw the last part of it after the foul was called. They were bumping all the way down the court and had been battling pretty good the previous time down.
Kenny Walker is into the game. Gerald Wilkins returns. McHale missed the first free throw. And he tries again. He has 8. 27-21 is the score. A minute remaining in the quarter. Newman partially blocked. Akers out of there with it to Dennis Johnson with 45 seconds. New York really playing tight tonight. They made a lot of mistakes. Dennis Johnson drew the foul as he missed and paid the price.
Well, it sounds like a broken record with Dennis Johnson, but he really is looking to do something with the basketball offensively tonight. He's driven to the basket several occasions already.
It's almost like last night against all that pressure, his job was to get the ball over the line and then let the other guys go to work.
Well, he said to me, he said, Rick, I was trying to make sure that we handled the ball against their pressure. I knew they were going to come out and press us and be very aggressive, and I wanted to make sure that we handled that. And I wasn't looking to do things offensively, but it's going to be a different story tonight. And as we pointed out, he's certainly living up to that. He's already got 5 points and 6 rebounds in this game.
28-21.
As most people will tell you, Skip, and you've been around enough and seen so many games, that Dennis Johnson really is one of the key players for the Celtics, especially during playoff time. He really enjoys this time of the year.
He's normally the guy shutting down the other team's highest scoring guard. Cartwright, that won't go. Rebound, Bird. They can build it back to a 9-point lead, and they don't have to shoot until about 3 seconds left in the quarter. They have 14 on the shot clock. 10 on the shot clock. Bird shot it early with 5 on the clock and missed. Ewing dribbles it down the floor. 4-3. Didn't miss by much, and the quarter is over. The Knicks battle back. They're not out of it, but Boston's looking good. At the end of the first period, in a wild and woolly affair in Madison Square Garden. Boston 28, New York 21. Conclusion, Rick Barry and I will be selecting the Miller Lite Player of the game, so please stay tuned for that. And for Utah and Portland with Bob Neal and Steve Jones, that's the second game of a doubleheader.
Well, you take 63, turn it around, and Knicks, of course, that's been their big problem all season long. They are not a good shooting basketball team. Even though 7 turnovers for Boston, they have shot the ball exceptionally well, and again, they're leading in rebounds, something they didn't do the other night. So the press still bothering Boston somewhat, but they're shooting the ball at a very terrific clip right now. 63%. It's tough to beat a team like Boston when they shoot that well.
Danny Ainge up the floor. Ainge works against Mark Jackson. A long way to go. The second quarter has just commenced. Bird handles it against Walker. Rolls it low to Parrish. Not this time. Rebound Cartwright. Ahead it comes to Mark Jackson, who's had a tough series up. He finds Wilkins alone. No. Parrish. Boy, he's having a game. Danny Ainge heads the other way.
Knicks just can't drop it in the ocean from outside. I mean, it's got to be frustrating as the coach as Parrish walks with the basketball. I mean, this Knicks team, if they had another good outside shooting player, they would be a very difficult team to defeat.
I was talking to Al Bianchi before the game about that, and he agreed, but he made an interesting point. He said, our small forward shoots the 19th least, and our big forward the 21st least. He said, we'd like to up that if we had the right players. Akers breaks away and gets led. But they have changed their club because they don't have those kind of offensive tools at those positions.
That's why they have to do it with the defense and get opportunities off of steals and break opportunities.
30-21 our score. Ewing is doubled in the pivot. Again, an outside jump shot, and again it's no good, and again Parrish has the rebound. And again, Boston has a chance to pad its lead, and K.C. Jones has play instruction. Great pass. Paxson shoots two.
And a smart cut by Paxson, who does such a good job of moving without the basketball. He's made a living doing that in his NBA career. We'll watch Larry Bird on this play and show you going against Kenny Walker. As Ewing comes over to double, he quickly goes around Ewing. There's Paxson with the quick cut inside and the great pass by Bird. That's what makes Boston such a tough team, though, Skip, as opposed to New York. New York with Patrick Ewing and Cartwright can establish somewhat of an inside game, of course, but you know, the Knicks, the Celtics have McHale and Bird, who are so tough. Parrish, who can go down in there as well. And they have the great outside shooting to go with it. The Knicks, without the outside shooting, teams are able to take away that inside game against them.
Paxson, 1 of the 2, his first point of the night. So 81-21, 10-10 left, first half. Ewing. This will be interesting to see who they call this foul.
It'll be on Bird. He kind of ran into Patrick. Actually, Patrick initiated the contact. Larry was following his man around. And see, that's not a smart play. As Patrick gets the ball, you don't want to come cutting baseline towards Patrick with the ball and bring your defender towards the man with the ball.
They're packed in against the Knicks enough without you making it easier for them.
Patrick coming off a 31-point game the other night, has 5 now and has 7 rebounds so far. You see he's been very consistent, averaging double figures here in the playoffs, rebounding also.
Ewing has them both as we go along here tonight. We'll keep you up to date on the Atlanta at Milwaukee game. And all the NBA conversation with Craig Sager at halftime. Atlanta off to its 5-point lead in the first quarter of their game. Paxson, yes.
Again, they attacked the press. They beat it down, get a good opportunity shot, and they have the players who can make them.
Newman just dribbles it down the floor and lets it rip. 33-25, 8-point Boston game, and they've got the ball.
And Akers has a bloody nose with some cotton stuffed up the left nostril.
Bird fakes over Ewing.
Larry Bird. Celtics lead 35-25.
35-25. Jackson came into this game shooting just 31%, averaging 10 assists. Offensive foul against New York.
An offensive foul is charged against Bill Cartwright.
Second foul on Cartwright. Sidney Green, Trent Tucker into the game. Cartwright and Gerald Wilkins go out.
Replacing Gerald Wilkins
And the Knicks look like a dispirited group right now. They got a long way to go. They got to shake it off if they're to have a chance in this one.
Well, the outside shooting's not working for them. They've taken a great number of outside shots. It's been their problem.
Paris won't go, won't go, won't go. Sidney Green finally the rebound. Here comes Mark Jackson. Changed it, made it. His second basket. He needs to get going.
Watch one of the few break opportunities that the Knicks have had here in this ball game, and it's all Mark Jackson. He takes it down the court, sees a bit of an opening, and just continues to go straight into the basket. As Ewing makes a little screen against Age, he gets fouled, lays it up and in. And this is where Mark Jackson is most effective, but he hasn't had many opportunities like this tonight.
Jackson converts the three-point play. (35-28) is our score. Celtics' biggest lead has been 13 at 23-10.
Mismatch there. Jackson on Bird.
Ainge from Bird. That's goaltender.
So you can't leave your man when Larry Bird has the ball. You have to know where your man is, know where the ball is. That is just a breakdown in basic fundamentals.
I love the quote of Dominique Wilkins a couple of years ago in Sports Illustrated. They did an article on Bird and asked Dominique about it. And he was very complimentary and said that when you play him and you look into his eyes on the court, it's like looking into the eyes of an assassin. Paris. Mark Jackson. But he's 3-on-3. Tucker wisely slowed it up. Jackson forces his way in. No. They'll give it to Sidney Green. His second hoop. Here comes the chaos.
And you have to admire the Knicks' tenacity.
Ainge. McHale. Oh, missed the chip shot. Tucker spots up. No. Green.
Boy, Green should have taken that right back up. Parrish with 2 fouls. That could have been a big one.
Newman wants to shoot. Can't. They can move to within 5 if they convert here. Jackson. Green in the lane. Got it.
Patino signaling his team. Get up here and press. He wants them all over him all the time.
That early blitz. Here's Bird for 3. Tucker is on the deck hurt. I don't know who got to him. Bird drills a three-pointer. Trent Tucker can't answer the bell, and
he's hurt where you don't want to be hurt, Skip.
Looked like he got it hit in the groin. I don't know who got him, but whoever it was, Larry Bird got a unmolested three-point shot on it.
Mike Sanders with Patino out there checking on Trent. That's one of those that takes a little while for the pain to go away.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see it again. Here we see Tucker right there. Now, I don't know that. I don't know if he ran into Patrick Ewing. It looked like if he did get hit there, otherwise he may have pulled the groin muscle. We'll have to find out.
And we'll be back right after this. And Utah looked terrible. Looked like Portland was going to have a cakewalk, but it hasn't worked out that way. Here it's an 8-point game, and New York comes to the attack. Ewing. Gerald Wilkins. It's a 6-point game.
Isn't Don Nelson there with him tonight, not Steve?
I don't know.
Bob in the audience.
I don't have any idea. Dennis Johnson dribbles the perimeter. Larry Bird. Here come the Knicks. They can move to within 4. Jackson. Yes. They were down 13. It's a 4-point game. The chaos is working.
Have to get Maxwell smart here.
McHale against Ewing. Great shot. He has 10. Bird has 11. 42-36. Newman against Bird. A block on Akers.
Fouled by Mark Akers. That's Akers' third personal
3 on Akers.
Celtics have 3 team fouls. Kelly Newman on the line, shooting 2.
Rick Pitino looks on. Newman shoots 2. An 85% foul shooter in the series. First trip to the line tonight. He has 7. 42-37 our score. Robert Parrish about to return. 4-point game again. Oh, McHale walk. Parrish gets back in. Akers goes out.
Replacing Mark Akers.
5:15 left in the half. Wilkins. No, Bird the rebound. And a whistle. And a foul against New York. Against Johnny Newman. And as they walk to the other end, we'll remind you that this program is authorized under rights granted by the National Basketball Association. They fooled me. They didn't walk to the other end. So to the entertainment of our audience, any publication, reproduction, or the use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the risk
Express written consent of the NBA is prohibited.
Thank you. Kevin McHale drives, lays it up, no good, a whistle and a foul. And they can put that disclaimer
away.
Foul by Sidney Green.
Where the sun fails to shine. Sidney Green's first foul.
Kevin McHale on the line for shots.
McHale for 2. Like Bird, he has 11. Tucker suffered a pulled groin muscle, and whether he'll play anymore or not, we don't yet know. Newman, high in the air over McHale. 44-40. The Knicks have scrapped back into this game.
Robert Parrish just walked and he got away with it.
McHale, good luck to Parrish, and he shoots the layup. So he has 11. Bird has 11. McHale has 12. Of the 46 Boston points, 4:10 left in the first half. Bird almost stole that pass. Jackson has it blocked away by Parrish on the deck. Sailing out of bounds is Green. They're going to give the ball. Jesse Kersey changed it. He simply pointed the wrong way.
Dennis Johnson couldn't believe it as he got up and had something to say to him. He didn't see the play again. Now, see, Jackson has no confidence in his outside shot. That's not smart taking it into a big man. But without that confidence, he wanted to go in because he feels better inside. There it is, right out of bounds by the Knicks. Obvious call in favor of Boston.
And Kersey was right. You make a mistake, if you can, correct it. He did. Dennis Johnson, front court, 46-40, our score. Celtics can go up by 8, and they do. Johnson drives down the middle untouched. At the other end, Wilkins gets the hit. Down goes Bird, no foul.
Well, Wilkins got lucky there. That could have easily been a charge. He had a man wide open on the left wing, Newman, and chose to take it himself.
Green trying to front McHale. Now Kevin gets the ball out away from the hoop. Starts his move. The open man, Ainge spots up, and is fouled by Ewing.
That's not in the act of shooting. It'll be Boston ball on the sideline. That's a good ball from part of Boston. Quickly, ball goes out to Johnson, and then Danny Ainge gets it and gets the foul by Patrick, and he's mad that he didn't go to shoot it.
Parrish layup. Good. Boy, they are. They're a cut above.
Well, they pass the ball, Skip, better than any other team in the NBA.
Newman for two. Got it. Now New York has found their offensive punch, but they can't stop Boston. Dennis Johnson up the floor against Gerald Wilkins. 3 minutes left. Boston by 6. Green and McHale bang away at one another. McHale gives it up. Dennis Johnson fakes, goes to the hole. No. Tip. No. Outlet. Wilkins. 3-on-2. Wilkins keeps it. Now down under. Newman. He's got 14. Bird at the other end for 2. No. Rebound Green. The Knicks can pull to within a basket. Jackson. Newman. Pass Bird. No. Rebound. Bird. Down goes Parrish. McHale. Ainge. Sidney Green is back. Ainge gives it to Dennis Johnson from 7. Yes.
Well, the Knicks come within one basket of really trying to turn things over totally in their favor, and they just can't seem to get it to drop. They had the big miss by Wilkins just a few minutes ago on the baseline, and that time the shot by Newman.
We enter the 2-minute period. It's wild and woolly. Gerald Wilkins with a left hand. No. Rebound Green. He's having a big game. He's knocked down. No whistle. That's playoff basketball. McHale. Knock loose. Mark Jackson comes away with it. It's a track meet. Here comes Jackson. 3-on-2. Foul on Ainge. A timeout called here, and boy, they are playing all out now. 52-46 Boston. We'll be back. Makers of CRX, Civic, Accord, and Prelude. Test drive one at your local Honda dealer tomorrow.
As you can see, Skip, a lot of tradition in these two teams. Only remaining charter members still playing in original suits in the NBA. Here's how the Knicks got back into this ballgame. At least one of the plays that helped them. Wilkins with the behind-the-back pass, knocks it over to Newman, who cuts past Bird, who was coming out, and takes it home. Dunk that turned the crowd on here. Newman, of course, one of those players being in the right place at the right time. Cut from Cleveland, found the home here in New York, and responded with his career game, last ball game, 34 points in his starting role.
Rick Carlisle has checked into the New York lineup. First time in the 2 games here in the Garden, and he's played by Dennis Johnson, and he is a former Celtic. Was on their last championship. Ewing finds an open Newman. He fumbles the ball away, gets it back, jump off. Dennis Johnson tied him up.
I would think that Newman will out-jump Dennis Johnson here. Whether or not the Knicks maintain control of the ball will be interesting to see.
Craig Sager standing by with a Prudential halftime report.
He's always standing by, isn't he? I think he lives there.
Those also serve who only stand and wait. That's what he's doing right now.
Dennis Johnson did out-jump him. Surprising.
Carlisle comes in, firing, in and out. Parrish the rebound. Here comes Bird with 1:10. Celts can go up by 8. The Knicks had a chance to get to within 2, but couldn't do it. Now McHale and Parrish way out on top.
So they want that mismatch inside there, Larry Bird.
Ainge spots up from 20. No. McHale in tight. No. Coming. Ahead to Johnson. 40 seconds left. Jackson on a drive. Threw up a prayer. Got no answer. Ewing with it now. Jackson almost out of control there for a moment. Newman and a whistle. He stepped on the line. Boston gets it back with 28 seconds. See if they milk the clock here. (52-46). That's our score. Boston has led since the game began. By as many as 13. By as few as 4 in this quarter. 6 on the shot clock. Bird double team finds McHale, finds Ainge for 3. No. Carlisle the rebound. 2, 1. That's good if it goes. Nowhere near. We're at halftime. The Knicks are still alive. Craig Sager standing by. He'll bring you up to date on the Atlanta-Milwaukee game, among other things. We'll be back in Madison Square Garden.
I'd remind you, ladies and during halftime.
21 fast break points to only 15 for New York, and they once again have established that inside game where they dominated in games 1 and 2. They're ahead 30-18 in points there, and of course they're holding the Knicks to only 38% shooting.
So that's where we are, 52-46, our halftime score, with Boston on top, but the Knicks very much in the game. So we hope you'll stay with us. And when we're through, the night of basketball on CBS is far from over, for Portland and Utah get together later, and it will be, Rick was right, it will be Don Nelson who joins Bob Neal with the play-by-play story of that game when this one comes to a close. For you Braves fans, bad news tonight. Phillies 7, Braves 3 from the stadium in Atlanta. There will be Braves baseball tomorrow night.
And the scoring leaders, as you saw there, the one name missing that is so critical for the success of this New York team, Patrick Ewing, with only 6 points in the first half.
So here we go. The third quarter is underway, and Boston has the ball first. Ainge works against Mark Jackson. Larry Bird against Johnny Newman. McHale. Boy, had Parrish. Foul is called. He had Parrish all by himself, but before he could do anything, he got whacked.
Followed by Patrick Ewing. That's his third personal foul.
3 on Ewing. If he gets another one there.
New York has 1 team foul.
Big trouble. McHale shoots 2.
Well, they needed scoring with only 6 points from Patrick. It's one of the reasons that they're trailing. He did a great job on the boards, though. 11 rebounds in the first half.
McHale seeks his 14th point.
See, when the outside shooting's not working, Skip, it's so easy for the Celtics to collapse in on Patrick. He's only gotten 6 shots off in this ball game, but if they're hitting those shots, then they have to play the men more honest, and it's easier for Patrick to get a chance to operate inside.
It's an 8-point game. Ewing, no, Bird. Now remember, Boston started sensationally at the outset of the game. Another run like that now, and they'd be well out in front. McHale against Green. Ainge, Parrish, all by himself, but he missed it. Sidney Green throws it away. Dennis Johnson. Wilkins dares him. McHale. Yes.
That was Kevin McHale.
He has 16. It's a 10-point game. 56-46 our score.
I would think Larry Bird is going to look to be a little more offensive minded. He said he was going to look that way. Only took 9 shots in the first half.
Ewing forces his way in, finds the open man, and Mark Jackson delivers.
Forward Bird was scored by Mark Jackson.
Patrick did a nice job that time, Skip, kicking it out to the open man. Unfortunately, the open men have not usually been knocking that jumper in, and unfortunately for the Knicks that time, Jackson was able to drop one.
56-48 our score. Bird gets Ainge the open jumper. Ewing the rebound. Gerald Wilkins. Jackson. Ainge tried to steal, could not. Wilkins. The open shot still won't go. The rebound kicks out to Parrish. 10 minutes left, third quarter. McHale over Green. He is hot. McHale with 18. Again, a 10-point lead. 22nd timeout New York. And again, they're off to a slow start here in the third quarter. And Rick Pitino wants to rally his troops a little bit.
Well, the Boston Celtics do such a good job moving the basketball, and they create so many problems for this Knicks team when they are doing that. You see Dennis Johnson kicking it over, no pressure on McHale. Now they get pressure. Parrish is wide open. Nobody's bothering him. They're able to throw the ball almost wherever they want to. And then McHale gets a good position inside. Ewing looking to try and help, but the fadeaway shot virtually unstoppable on the part of Kevin McHale. The Knicks are not causing the Celtics any problem with their ability to be able to make their initial passes. They're not overplaying passing lanes, and as a result, the Celtics are getting into their offense rather easily. You see that Kevin McHale obviously turning things on, coming to playoffs here, 3 points above his seasonal average.
Knicks need a hoop. They're down 10. Mark Jackson. Newman has been hot. Still is. Johnny has 16 in the game. 58-50 Boston, our score. Ainge up top. They go to Parrish. Ball goes out of bounds, and the ball's going to go to New York. Newman was right in Parrish's path, and he dribbled it off his foot and out of bounds. Rick Pitino with play instructions as the Knicks come to work. Ewing. Nice shot. He took some punishment but got the basket nonetheless. It's a 6-point game. And against the chaos, the Celtics get a 2-on-1. Dennis Johnson missed. Newman. Jackson. Here comes New York.
And KC wants a timeout because this is the way the Knicks want the game to go.
There's a foul on Jackson.
Foul by Mark Jackson. That's his first personal foul.
And a timeout is called by Boston.
Timeout Boston.
Knicks have scored 6 in a row. 8:25 left in the quarter. Boston will have the ball and a 4-point lead when we return.
If you can't get pumped up with that type of response from your home fans, you never will.
Well, let's see if it helps the New York team. They're down by 4. Dennis Johnson against Gerald Wilkins. Bird against the smaller Jackson. A shot might be coming here. No, he finds Dennis. Ainge jumps from 19. Bottom of the basket.
Danny Ainge, been kind of the forgotten man in the Celtic team, has really not played that well, at least not up to his standards, having his best year this year.
It's only his second basket tonight. 6-point game. Ewing, no. Rebound, Bird. To Ainge. He's got McHale low. Parrish high.
He walked, he changed his pivot feet, or his pivot foot.
Bird will go to the line.
You see, we talked about Danny, what's happened to him, 6 points below his regular season average.
Number 25 is in for New York.
Ewing has to leave with 4 fouls, and that could be a big item. 7:36 left in the third quarter.
Larry Bird shooting 2.
Bird for 2. Bird with 12 points, 6 rebounds. (62-54). Mark Jackson, Gerald Wilkins, Bill Cartwright, who hasn't been heard from. Newman. Nope, not this time. Parrish has done a yeoman's job on the board.
And the outside shooting of the Knicks will turn out to be their demise if they continue at this pace.
Bird against the smaller Newman, who knocked it away from behind. Good play. He almost walked. Cartwright triple teamed and fouled.
I see that's a perfect example of the disrespect that the Celtics have for the outside shooting of the Knicks. All 5 men were within 5 or 6 feet of Cartwright. Look at Newman on Bird as Bird beats him. He goes the old playground trick from behind to knock it loose. Good quickness on his part, but Bird had him beaten badly.
62-54, 6:50 left in the third. Newman is in a mess. Cartwright blocked by Perry. Green at the buzzer. No. Rebound Cartwright knocked away by Dennis Johnson.
And Knicks got a break that time because there was 3 seconds on Gerald Wilkins, who never left the lane in that entire sequence.
In it comes to Wilkins. Newman forces his way in, jumps. Boy, he's having some serious. He has 18, 62-56. The Celtics lead. New York led once, 2-0 at the start of the game. McHale against Green. Dennis Johnson. No. But there's Parrish. Bird, and they start over again. Less than 6 minutes, third quarter. Foul Cartwright. An obvious push. 3 fouls on him. Rick Carlisle into the game for New York.
We'll probably see more of Rick with the injury to Trent Tucker at the pulled groin muscle. Rick Pitino needs somebody who has the threat of that outside shot.
Placing Gerald Wilkins.
Sure, Carlisle would like nothing better than to get the hot hand against his former teammates.
Inbounds it comes to Kevin McHale against Sidney Green. Knocked loose. Recovered by Bird, though. Dennis Johnson. That'll be on Carlisle. They got their arms hooked together.
Fouled by Rick Carlisle.
Looked like a square dance there for a minute.
Swing your partner.
Over the limit. Dennis Johnson on the line. 2 shots.
Dennis Johnson has 9 points, 8 assists, and 7 rebounds. And a missed free throw. His second of the night.
Jim Paxson, number 4, is in for the Celtics.
Jim Paxson gives Danny Ainge a rest. Boston has not gone with their reserves nearly as much as in this game as they did on Wednesday night.
No, they haven't really done that good a job. Paxson, who'd been averaging 10 coming into game 3 the other night, and tonight he's got 3 only in this ball game. Ainge only had 2 at the half. They're not getting a lot of production out of another guard position. But the big 3 up front had double figures in the first half. 11 for Bird, 12 for McHale, 13 for Parrish.
10 for Dennis Johnson. 63-56, 5:40 left. Portland at Utah next. Utah trying to win that series as the Celtics are here. Newman over Bird. Not this time, and McHale the rebound. It's all perimeter. Well, we're wearing the topic out, I guess, but it's true. It's all perimeter for the Knicks, and they're not making the shots.
That's because the Celtics are designed to play that way. They just take the inside away and give them the outside shot.
Bird for 3.
That was Larry Bird.
It looks like Larry's decided he's going to start shooting.
A 3-point goal by Larry Bird.
That guy is a one-man band, Johnny Newman.
He's had much more success with his penetration moves. He gets Larry coming out at him and uses his quickness to go by him.
66-58 with 4:50. Carlisle against Dennis Johnson. McHale, double team, knocked away by Carlisle, stolen by Green. Ahead for Mark Jackson against Paxson. Foul Paxson.
That was a rookie mistake right there because he was fouled before he ever done anything. He should have shot the basketball. Instead, he passed it off, and they're calling it a pass-off foul, only the second team foul on the Celtics. Who watch Newman, you see him use the quickness. Larry Bird going with him, just can't stay with that quickness. Does a good job as Parrish comes over to decide to use the basket as really like a screen, because Parrish couldn't do anything when he crossed underneath.
Knicks try to close back to within 6. They once, late in the second quarter, had a chance to get within 2. They didn't. Newman. Boy, he's got 22. It's a 6-point game again. Parrish against Jackson. Now a 2-on-1 break. McHale. Foul Cartwright, his 4th. 2 shots, McHale.
Well, the Celtics are consistent, though, Skip. When they break down full court pressure, they attack.
So Ewing has 4 fouls. Cartwright has 4 fouls. And the Knicks are in some trouble in the Garden. 4:10 remaining, third quarter.
McHale, 2 shots.
I tell you, it's a tribute to them, however, to be hanging as tough as they are, shooting as poorly as they are.
19 for McHale, 7 in the quarter.
I think it really shows you what good aggressive defense can do for you. It can allow you to stay close, and if you have the offense to go along with it, you'll win a lot of basketball games.
McHale makes them both. He has 20. 68-60. We have reached the 4-minute mark in the third quarter. Wilkins for 2. Only 2.
2-point ball by Gerald Wilkins.
68-62.
68-62.
The crowd is in it again. Paxson, no. Cartwright ahead to Mark Jackson. 3-on-2. Wilkins over Bird. It's a 4-point game. Now the crowd is really in the game. Paxson up top, McHale. Bird threw it away. Bird by himself on the baseline. The pass wasn't there. Again, New York can move to within 2. Cartwright. 2-point game. Listen to this crowd.
Calling all editors, they've taken 17-9 shots in favor of the Knicks. 59% shooting because they've gotten some good easy baskets. Johnny Newman, 22 points, doing a great job getting that penetration. And the Celtics know that they're in for a battle the rest of the way here.
Dennis Johnson on the attack. 3 minutes left, third quarter. A Celtic miss and the Knicks could tie. Paxson. He missed. Cartwright to rebound.
Now remember, they're doing this with Patrick Ewing out of the ball game.
Newman posts up against Bird. Oh, it won't go.
Cartwright got shoved out of the way. Now they're going to call a foul on Sid Green, but Cartwright had that offensive rebound and was pushed out of the way. So a big break for Boston as Newman can't get the little turnaround to drop for him, and Cartwright didn't have that foul call against whoever it was that pushed him. I couldn't see who it was.
Mark Akers to the foul line. That was a tough break for Newman. He made a great move again.
You know, one of the reasons you haven't seen some of the Celtic reserves that you've seen in regular season, especially like Artis Gilmore, Artis can't play this kind of pace of a game. That's why Akers is playing some, because he has the mobility and the quickness.
3-point game. Johnny Newman up the floor. 69-66. 2:30 left, third quarter. Portland at Utah next.
McHale's dropping in there to try and help out.
Cartwright and Akers are banging one another. Jackson. He has 13, 6 in the quarter. Chaos all over the floor. That's what New York wants.
This is where the Celtics have to show their poise and their patience against this type of pressure.
2 minutes left, third quarter. Larry Bird.
Larry Bird, and the 71-68,
71-68, a minute 45. Nope, they're taken away. A foul prior to the shot against Boston.
It'll be against Paxson.
Foul by Jim Paxson.
The first in the last 2 minutes against the Celtics. Nick Ball on the side.
Celtics first foul within the last 2
So
minutes.
New York gets a break. Wilkins had missed the shot.
Well,
Johnson with play instructions.
you know Casey's concerned because he's up out of his seat.
Akers doing a good job denying Cartwright the ball. Wilkins the open jumper over Bird. Won't go. Rebound McHale. So the Celtics can go back up by 5 if they score here. 1:15 left, third quarter. Bird loses Wilkins. No. Newman had it, lost it. Touch last by Akers. New York's ball.
Well, the Knicks keep getting an opportunity to really cut that lead and get it back down even closer than it is. They can't seem to drop that shot.
Even Newman misses. Green misses. Nowhere near. Rebound Paxson.
Just rushed it that time, Sid Green.
45 seconds left. McHale. Oh, Wilkins almost stole it. Instead, Dennis Johnson down under. Foul as Akers hits the deck. Sidney Green got it.
And McHale didn't like the way Sid Green took the foul, had a few words to say to him. You'll watch a great penetration move coming up here in the part of Dennis Johnson as McHale will kick it out as he gets the double team. Wilkins just misses the steal. There's the good penetration, the crossover move. The underneath scoop over to Akers. Green was out of the play, and so he decided to make sure that Akers didn't make the basket, and that he did.
Akers on the line, shooting 2.
Knicks now shooting their 11th free throw of this period. The Celtics are. The Knicks have yet to get to the free throw line, and they still cut into that lead.
Akers now 1 of 3 at the foul line. Ainge in for Bird. Pat Cummings checks in.
Skip, I haven't heard this much noise since I was at that Final Four game when Kansas played against Oklahoma.
I thought Oklahoma played pretty well that night.
Yeah, they did, but they lost. Boston's playing pretty good here tonight, and they're not exactly running away with it. You have to credit the Knicks for playing tough.
Jackson. He's got 15. It's a 1-point game again.
Last time the teams met, they went 7 games back in '84, and every game was won on the other team's home court.
Well, they're not going to go 7 games in this one. The question is, will they go 4 or 5? 71-70. 3 on the shot clock. 2 on the shot clock. 3 in the quarter. 2. 1. That's good if it goes. No. But the Knicks are right there at the end of 3, and they've got the crowd.
Well, off to the field goal percentages. Boston went 63, 46, 39. New York 36, 50, and 50. And it was the inside shooting that has helped them. They've gotten some good shots inside, and they happen to drop a few outside ones. So it's going to be an interesting fourth period coming up here as you see those field goal percentage quarters. And I'll tell you, the crowd is in it here. My good friend Monty Hundley, who's come to the ball games, got to tell his mom Wanda down in Orlando that it's really exciting because Monty left his chair and he's not the one to get up and cheer, but we got everybody up in this building.
Gerald Wilkins, front court. The Knicks can take the lead. They do. Their first lead since it was 2-0.
And they made their comeback without Patrick Ewing in the game. He's back in now for Cartwright.
Let's see how the Knicks respond. Bird. That's how they respond.
It's always a good way to respond.
Bird has 20.
Well, Larry said before, they may shut me down for 3 quarters, but the fourth quarter's mine. It wasn't in game 3. It might be different tonight.
Jackson for 3. New York by 2. 11 minutes left. against Jackson. Ainge against Wilkins. Bird against Kenny Walker. No. Ewing. And a foul against Boston.
It's going to be on Akers.
Four on Akers.
Mark Jackson pumping his fist, trying to keep this crowd in the ball game. He loves it. He's a New York guy. Before both of these last two games, Skip, he walked out in the streets because he says that people recognize him and they get him pumped up for the game.
Ewing. Tip up and in. No. It'll be offensive basket interference.
And I think that ball was in even had he not touched it. And he realized it.
Had he let it alone, he'd have had a hoop. But if he walks around the streets around Madison Square Garden and wants to be recognized, I don't know.
Well, I didn't say he did it around the garden.
Oh, okay. Danny Ainge. Paxson. Jackson almost stole it. Be a foul on Gerald Wilkins.
The foul by Gerald Wilkins.
His third. It'll be a loose ball foul.
Personal foul, 3 on Wilkins. New York has 1 team foul.
Danny Ainge with the inbounds pass. Bird. Cummings got him. Look at him throw the ball up there. Let's see if he was in the act of shooting.
Oh, definitely. He used his experience. He saw he had the man totally out of position, knew he was going to get hit, and went immediately into the act of shooting. And he got open that time because a really good screen was set on Walker that forced a switch. You see another great game going on there. Atlanta-Milwaukee. Milwaukee trying to force that to game 5. Home court has been a big advantage in the Eastern Conference.
Bird has 21, tries again. He can tie the game.
In fact, if I'm not mistaken, in the Eastern Conference, the home team has won every game.
I believe you're right. In fact, you are. Mark Jackson to the front court. Tied at 75 with 9:50. Ewing sets the pick. Oh, Wilkins just fumbled the ball away.
And he had Ewing open on the roll.
And Ainge, as a result, gets a layup. His third basket of the game.
77-75.
Wilkins tries to get it back. He does. We're tied at 77. Boy, these guys are putting forth some effort tonight. Walker plays Bird. Paxson set a pick on the switch. Bird is played by Mark Jackson. Ewing out to help. Deflected away. No, they're going to give the ball to New York.
Danny Ainge had to rush that because he stopped in the 3-second area, and as a result, he forced his pass because he was afraid of getting called for the 3 seconds. And as he made the pass, a cut was made by Akers, and he threw it behind him.
Dennis Johnson about to return for Boston. 8:55 left, tie game. Jackson has been hot, not this time. Out of there beautifully, Ewing to Jackson. He's fouled. He'll shoot two. Here comes Dennis Johnson. There goes Jim Paxson.
Fouled by Jim Paxson.
Rick Carlisle into the game again for New York.
And Rick Carlisle, number 3, is in for New York.
Gerald Wilkins goes out.
Took the scenic route.
Took a circuitous route to get back to the bench.
Kevin McHale, number 32, is back in for the Celtics.
Very strange. That strange lineup system of his. I don't know. I question that one.
Jackson, 18 points, 9 assists.
You know, the thing is, when he shoots his free throws and you watch him, he really has pretty decent form. Gets the ball going up, has a pretty nice follow-through. There's that strange honing device of his. This is the first free throw attempt by the Knicks in the second half. That's the second attempt.
They won the game with free throws in the fourth quarter on Wednesday. The crowd is standing again. What a ball game. 8:43 left. New York leads it 79-77. There's the way it looks in the Eastern Conference.
What a surprise. I mean, Washington, and I'd like to take this time to congratulate Wes Unseld, Clyde LaVellette, also Ralph Miller, and the deceased Bobby McDermott, his family, for being enshrined in the Hall of Fame on Tuesday night. And, of course, Wes went back after the enshrinement on Tuesday and got his team even with Detroit. And the West, Los Angeles, 5 times in a row, they swept their first-round opponent. Now they have to sit. And, you know, when you're not playing ball, you can get a little bit stale not playing competition. They're waiting for the winner of that Portland-Utah series, with Portland trailing 2-1. That game coming up right after this.
Now the two officials, Jess Kersey and Joey Crawford, are conversing. A little confusion at the table, I guess, but now we're ready to go. Knicks by 2. Boston has the ball. 8:43 left. Whoa, Walker almost got to the inbounds pass. Chaos, the name of the game for New York. Foul on Cummings, I think, yes. He got him from behind. That's his 4th foul. So he has 4. Ewing has 4. Cartwright has 4. Dennis Johnson hurting a little bit after that collision. Bird inbounds from in front of our microphone. If he can, he does to Dennis Johnson. $8:25 left. Bird against Jackson. Backs the smaller man in. 1 on the shot clock. Dennis Johnson. No. Ewing, boy, he is a monster in the second half. Mark Jackson up the floor. Knicks have never led by any more than 2. He drew the foul. 2 shots. McHale.
I tell you, you can see the maturity in Patrick Ewing. He was telling Mark, give me the ball. I mean, he said, I want the basketball. He got plenty of rest on the bench in that second period after he picked up his 4th foul. Cartwright did a good job filling in. And now Patrick showing the type of leadership and the type of play that everybody expected when they drafted him.
8 points, 15 rebounds as he goes to the line.
It's the rebounds that have helped the Knicks here tonight.
You betcha.
And he's been deadly at that free throw line. In game number 3 is when he started it, in that second half especially.
Knicks by 3 with 7:56. New York has its biggest lead, but we got forever to go. There's that pressure. Parrish up the floor to McHale. Well, Cummings thought about a steal, couldn't get there.
Pitino wants to have McHale and Parrish have to handle it against the press. Both of them touched at that time. As long as they don't handle it for layups.
Bird. No. Ewing, number 16. 7.5 minutes. Mark Jackson has really taken control. Ewing screams for the ball. They can't get it to him. They want to, they can't. 5 on the shot clock. Jackson in desperation. No. Rebound by McHale. Danny Ainge.
I tell you, they weren't playing him that tough. They could have gotten the ball to Patrick that time. He was open.
If they don't, they're not going to get to the foul line much more in this game. McHale against Ewing. See who the foul is on. It's on Cummings, his 5th.
That's Cummings' 5th personal foul. 5 on Pat Cummings.
So Cummings has 5. Cartwright has 4. Ewing has 4.
At the end of this particular play, you see the good crossover move again by Wilkins. As he takes Ainge to the basket, he's going to find Newman on the wing. Newman blasts by Bird, who misses the steal. And here you go. Time stands still right there with the Polaroid Spectra system.
In the team foul department, Knicks have 4, Celtics 3. Each team has 3 timeouts remaining. 81-77 Knicks. Bird. He is off target again.
Well, he's been in a bit of a shooting slump. Mark Jackson got hit in the right eye. Bird was shooting 47.5% going into this game, far below his normal percentage. He's 8 for 18 in tonight's ball game, and he's just having a tough time. Not getting a lot of real open shots, having to shoot a lot of fadeaways.
Knicks can go up by 6. Jackson, boy, he is doing it. He's got 22, 7 in the quarter.
Remember, the Celtics have not been the Celtics of old on the road. They have problems.
Bird. He had missed 4 straight till he buried that one.
Yeah, but he's going to keep shooting, and you have to do that. You have times when your rhythm's off, the timing's off, and the only way you're going to get it back is to keep shooting, and that's the sign of a great player and a great scorer, Larry Bird.
And another classic will follow. Utah and Portland at the Salt Palace.
Karl Malone doing it in the last 2 games.
Parrish with a great steal. McHale had an open floor. Dennis Johnson. Now the Celtics can move to within 2. Parrish from McHale. Beautifully done.
And a foul. Boy, is that a silly play on the part of the Knicks. The moment that Patrick Ewing left, the weak side guard who was over there or the forward who was out high had to come over and take Robert Parrish. Nobody is going to take him as we watch this play unfold again. The pass will go into McHale. We won't see the weak side on this play, but as he comes over, now Parrish makes the cut. You see no one there. Clear path. Big mistake defensively on the part of the Knicks. It looked like Newman may have been the player who didn't come over. That's just not good court awareness.
So from a 6-point lead, it's now 1 for New York. 5:22 left. Wilkins up top. No. It went off Mark Jackson. Boston can take the lead.
Well, the Knicks had a golden opportunity. Up 6 with the basketball, and then Robert Parrish made the steal on the bad pass. He was playing on the high side. He should have never made the entry pass from the angle that they tried to throw it.
That's what's kills you. It kills you when you can go up 8 and you don't even get a shot. Danny Ainge, Larry Bird. Yes, sir. And the Celtic fans have a chance to cheer. They're back on top. 4:58 remaining. Now Boston 84, Knicks 83. Boston has scored 7 straight.
Period has come on the play by Robert Parrish. The Knicks up by 6 with the basketball. Here is the play that really hurt. You're going to see Green trying to throw the ball, and you see the high side where Patrick is. He tries to throw it out there. That's not a real good angle because Patrick was not in the position to catch a straight-in pass. He should not have forced it in there. That's not the man you want passing the ball, Sidney Green, from way out on the court.
But the Knicks are alive and well, down only 1 with 4:48 left.
But you can't let a good team like Boston off the hook. When you have them down 6, you have to take full advantage of every play.
Loose ball foul on McHale.
Celtics with only 4 team fouls.
That's his 3rd personal foul here on McHale.
Milwaukee by 6. We don't know how much time is remaining in that game. We'll try to find out for you. 2.5 minutes to go. We hear from our fine producer, Kim Belton. Ewing. Oh, he was hit. No foul call. They're on their feet in the Garden about that. Bird spots up. There's Parrish where he loves to operate. That wouldn't fall. Cartwright the rebound. Jackson.
Boy, that's a tough shot. Not shooting well in the playoffs, trying to shoot an outside jumper over McHale. Actually may have helped him. It forced him to get more arc on the ball.
He's got 24, 9 in the quarter. .348 left. Knicks by 1. Dennis Johnson for 3. Another count he heard from. That's his first field goal in the second half. And he bombs in a 3-pointer. 87-85 Boston. That surprised everybody in the place. Not that he made it so much as that he took it. And he knocks that away.
I don't think that was the play that KC design they really called for.
He surprised me, I'll say that. But to his credit, he drilled it. 9 on the shot clock. New York's messing around. Wilkins didn't realize how little time was left. He loses the ball, and here comes Ainge. And he finds a trailer. Parrish, that's a layup for him. And there you saw the youth of the Knicks really hurt him. They forgot to check the shot clock and then never got a shot away. And now they find themselves down by 4 with 3 minutes left.
Ball game, the Knicks were up 85-84 until Dennis Johnson surprised everyone with this three-point shot, giving Boston the lead 87-85. And then the Knicks come back down the other end of the court, forget what's happening on the shot clock. Wilkins tries to go against DJ, who reaches in, knocks it loose. DJ picks it up. They get it down to the other end of the court. Had an easy layup, but Ainge couldn't handle the ball. He pulls it out. It'll hit Larry Bird on the trail. Larry Bird passes into Robert Parrish. Robert Parrish puts it away, and that gives the Knicks 4 points to have to make up.
Johnny Newman in the front court for New York as we rejoin you live against Bird. Forces his way in. It won't go. Rebound. Ewing couldn't control it. Newman missed. He'll shoot 2. And goaltending is called. A foul and goaltending. They needed that.
I don't know if this was goaltending or not. You see good hands by Bird as he knocks it away. Newman just tries to power his way past McHale, who could have easily been called for the foul there. Doesn't get it high enough on the glass. Ewing might have been over the back. It's knocked loose. Goes up for the shot, and looked like Parrish hit it on the way up to me. Certainly not on the way down.
I thought so too.
Well, that makes up for the one when he blocked it through the basket and didn't get called for it.
It's a 1-point game. 2:42. Ainge, but Jackson is there to hawk him. 89-88 Boston. What a ball game. 2.5 minutes left.
It's like the championship season for the Knicks with the defense chant.
Dennis. Oh, another clutch basket.
He's a clutch player.
He has 15, a 3-pointer and a 2-pointer in succession. Newman forces his way in. It won't go. Dennis Johnson with a rebound, saves it to Perry. So Boston leads by 3 and has the basketball. And as McHale hits the front court, we enter the 2-minute period.
Dennis Johnson doing everything that he needs to do to lift his team to victory.
Bird has that knocked away by Cartwright. Foul Cartwright.
Foul by Bill Cartwright.
Celtics were lucky that time. That's a good defensive play as they squelched Bird, but they got the good bounce as it went back to Larry. And now you can figure that it's going to be a Celtic 5-point lead after these free throws.
1:49 remaining. Bird now with 27 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. 8 points in the quarter. It is 93-88. 1:45 left. Ewing takes a wild shot. At the other end, Parrish against Jackson. He doesn't have the cinch layup. And now they play the clock with a 5-point lead. New York didn't get any kind of shot at all at the other end.
Well, they certainly had their chance in this game, Skip. Go back to that bad pass by.
With a 6-point lead,
Yes.
You'll never know, but that might have been it. Now they can start the clock all over again. A minute 8.
That was it. That was the straw that broke the old camel's back. They had a shot.
Less than a minute remaining. Dennis Johnson. 6 on the shot clock. Ainge for the knockout.
A three-point foul by Danny Ainge.
Timeout, New York. And suddenly it's an 8-point game. 53 seconds remaining. The Celtics lead the Knicks. 96-88. Seconds remain. It's suddenly an 8-point game. It's high. possible for the Knicks, but boy, it is not very likely. Milwaukee, with less than a minute, has the lead. But Atlanta's in better shape in that game than the Knicks are in this one.
Well, that's exactly right. And the Knicks had a golden opportunity, Skip. Again, to go back to it. About 4 minutes left in the ball game. They made that costly turnover. Robert Parrish was the man who made the steal as Sid Green tried to throw an ill-advised pass to Patrick Ewing. And even if Patrick got it, he would have been 15, 18 feet off the floor. It really hurt their chances. And then the good team that the Celtics are, I should say the great team that they are, they took advantage of the mistakes that the Knicks made.
Wilkins wants to go for three. Now he's going to go to the hoop. He's fouled by Dennis Johnson.
Fouled by Dennis Johnson. His first
Well, his first foul.
They got to knock these two in. Then play the good, tough defense, come up with a steal, get a three-point shot, play good, tough defense again, get it back, and do another three-pointer to win. So if the Celtics are able to get 1 point on the board, this game is over without any chance, I think, whatsoever for the Knicks to pull it out. Even now, it's a very remote possibility. But you must admire the effort put forth by this young, inexperienced Knickerbocker team against the veteran Celtics.
Wilkins has 17. The Knicks are a team of the future, but it appears the future is not yet here for them. But they can look ahead if, in fact, they lose this game to next year with great anticipation. Breakaway, other end. They can break your heart so many ways.
And usually do.
Wilkins for three. Doesn't get any. It's over the backboard, and Yogi Berra is wrong. Sometimes it is over before it's over. 98-90. Although passes like that will give you pause. There's a desperation foul, and Dennis Johnson will go to the foul line. And there's a dejected band of Knicks. And a happy Bill Walton and company on the Boston bench. Dennis Johnson, a triple-double tonight. 16 points, 10 rebounds, 12 assists.
Well, he certainly had his crystal ball working. He says, Rick, I'm going to do everything I have to do tonight.
The other big play in the game was his three-pointer out of nowhere. Mark Jackson drove one. He has 27, 12 in the quarter. He's been brilliant. But only 21 seconds and a foul.
Fouled by Mark Jackson. That's his
Dennis Johnson has not played on all those championship teams because he wasn't a clutch player.
Dennis Johnson, 2 shots.
So Dennis to the line again. We play out the string. It's 193. Bob Neal, Don Nelson standing by in Salt Lake City, with Portland and Utah coming along next.
And I tell you what, I bet the Celtics are very pleased that they're not going to have to face the Knicks again. In fact, they may not face this kind of pressure for the remainder of the playoffs. In fact, I'm sure they won't. No one's going to come out and play as frantic as the Knicks did and put the pressure on all over the court. It seemed like a field day for the Celtics from this point on.
Jackson, it was deflected, and the ball will still belong to New York. 9-point differential with 14 seconds left. Jackson again, no. Rebound, Jackson again. No, tip, no. Jackson. He attracted a crowd with 2 seconds left. And the good New York fans, and the large majority of them are on their feet applauding their Knicks for a gallant effort.
Well, they certainly gave them some excitement this year. They had a tremendous resurgence after the All-Star break. Played some outstanding basketball and showed this New York crowd and the New York fans that they have something to look forward to with this team. And again, we haven't seen this type of excitement in the Garden for a number of years. A lot of credit to Rick Pitino, Patrick Ewing, Mark Jackson, and the rest of the team. They gave a very valiant effort.
Cedric Toney and Rick Carlisle come in the game. Brad Lohaus in. Larry Bird goes out. It's all window dressing now. The Celtics have eliminated New York 3-1 and play either Atlanta or Milwaukee next. All Boston needs to do is that. It is over. So your final score is Boston 102 and New York 94. Now to Craig Sager in Atlanta. Boston eliminates New York. Tonight's Miller Lite